Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to this Q&A with myself and Lisa about our residential courses that are coming up in Portugal this year, 2026. We really appreciate your interest, and we're just here to to answer any questions you have, because obviously you're considering joining us, the people who have registered for this to attend live or watch the recording. So we've got two different courses on this year. This is our third year running residential specialist weeks here in Portugal, about working with the plants to make beautiful skincare, hair care, aromatic extracts. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's so of the earth. It's really, really special. But we've got two separate topics this year because we've been asked about making creams, and there's such a big area and they're so difficult. They're much more difficult than the other things, that we felt we really wanted to dedicate a full week to them. One day just teaching cream making isn't enough, so we just couldn't manage fitting it into our into our other course. Sorry. Lisa, will you just say a few words while I turn that off? I am so sorry.
Well, yes.
Sorry.
Well, as Vivienne said, we've been asked actually by several people if we were going to do something about creams, if we're going to learn about some emulsions. People want to learn about emulsions, and it is, as Vivienne says, it's something I like to describe as a big bucket of worms, because there's a lot of things that come into play when you want to do emulsions that do not come into play if you're doing water-free cosmetics and water-free products. So we couldn't, in good faith, just say, well, we can do creams in one day. And we have to, you can't do it properly if you don't give a bit of background. So, and it's not going to be a school bench type thing where you have to sit down and take notes. You might want to take notes. It might be interesting, but the emulsions is to give you kind of a full specter of how to make natural emulsions, and understanding how they work, how you can put together, what the rules are, because when you do that, then you start learning how to break the rules. And we like working a little bit outside the box, Vivian and I. So we like doing things that a lot of people say, you can't do that. That's not safe, and
Yeah,
that's not possible. And then we say, well, yes, it is, because we've been doing it for years. You have to
that's
know
it,
how to do
exactly.
it.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is as well, because we do everything is made from herbs, it's all plant-based. So or herbs or seaweeds, whether they're fresh from the garden or they're dried ones that we've bought, or when we do this course, we collect fresh herbs from the garden and we dry and we process them ourselves. But to put those into creams, then as soon as you start adding different herbs and different extracts of herbs and seaweeds, you're already creating all these different varieties of creams and lotions anyway, even before you start to change the technique. So that's why we really felt we wanted to devote a separate week to it, not least because people are always being told that it can't be done. And I mean, I know that's nonsense because I'm a professional herbalist. I qualified in 2003, and professional herbal emulsion creams are what we buy and use for our clinic. And I know how they're made because I know the people who have the companies that make them and distill the herbs to produce the ingredients and all the rest of it. So we absolutely have been dealing with this for years, and we just want other people to be able to do it as well, because a lot of people are called to work with nature, and buying natural products is their way in, and then making them is another level of it. And to be so keen to work with herbs and seaweeds and then be told that it can't be done is so disheartening for people, especially when it's not true.
Hmm.
It's not that it can't be done, it's just that you need to know how to do it properly for it to work and not to end up with a jar full of mold, and we will not be unintentionally making jars full of mold. I might bring you some jars full of mold to show you as part of the lesson, part of the what we'll be doing on the cream courses, showing what can go wrong and why, and breaking it down for you so that you understand. And the procedures and checks and steps that we take to put in place to prevent that happening. So yeah, so the creams one is more advanced and deals with preservatives and emulsifiers. But the course in May is, again, everything's made from the garden or dried herbs that we buy. And we make all these extracts from scratch, and we make cleansers and glycerates and infused honey and shampoo bars and oh yeah, Lisa's got these fabulous gels, plant-based gels that she teaches. So we're going to do different versions of those. You can even make them beautiful colours. They were great last year, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, and then all these lovely aromatic extracts because we're distilling. And the reason we run that course, the one in May, is because that's when the flowers are in season and we can collect usually elderflower, roses, neroli should still be hanging around at that time of year. It just depends how the weather goes, but we've had it both years for the previous courses. So it's really gorgeous. And of course, Mario comes in to teach us the enfleurage, which is really, really beautiful. And none of this stuff is it requires expensive equipment or fancy cosmetic making gear, like you're setting up a science lab or anything. It's really all about connecting you to the plants and putting it in your power to be able to make these really great things. I mean, just essentially using jars and bowls and pans and things. You can buy a distiller if you want to distill, certainly, but it's when you can make herbal and seaweed extracts properly. The variety of things that you can make is enormous, because you can start to put your own extracts into standard cosmetic recipes or formulae. So you're replacing the oil with a herbal oil and the water with water extracts of herbs or seaweeds. And so you just absolutely transform things and they become much more therapeutic and active. So yeah. Yeah, Anne's asking, will you also be covering infusions or just distillations and extracts? So actually, let's take the first course. So we do in our course in May, this is the booklet from last year, so you get a lovely big folder of printed notes and things. So that's all the different techniques in there, the extraction techniques, guides for you, as well as formulae then for the different cosmetic formulae, which you adapt then and formulate using the herbs that we bring to the class and we extract. So Lisa and I are both on hand to help you to choose ingredients to suit your skin type or the aim of the product you want to try and formulate. So the extracts that day one, we collect, we spend in the garden, we meet some of the skincare and hair care and deodorizing herbs, and we collect some of them and we bring them back to our beautiful classroom and we set them up for drying. So there are several different drying techniques that we use depending on which plant it is and what type of which method suits them better, because different methods of drying suit different plants. And so we dry them, and then the next things we do is we start to make different extracts with them. So we make infused vinegars, we make alcohol tinctures, we extract the herbs and glycerin. So we have herbal and sort of food-based glycerates like raspberry or different fruits. I did some seaweed glycerates last year as well. We have infused honeys as well. And we do infused oils which go into ointments and balms, and so we do a medicinal well, a skin balm that's can be nice or is more medicinal. We also with a herbal infused oil in it, and this year we're going to do a balm with the plant waxes. Lisa's
Yeah,
so we're
yeah.
creating a perfume balm. Yeah. The distillations, yeah, so we distill different herbs, aromatic ones, and non-aromatic ones as well, because non-aromatic herbs make wonderful hydrosols. We've
Mm.
distilled some really interesting ones over the last few years, and they've been really useful in deodorants or for lots of different techniques actually, and they can be used on their own or they can go in to products where there would be water content. We do herbal baths, not full body baths, but foot baths. So we use water extracts of the herbs to make those as well. So does that cover your question about infusions, Anne? Yeah, yeah, because infusions can, so that was water infusions and oil infusions. So then the glycerates, the honeys, the alcohol tinctures, these go into Lisa's formulae for the different cosmetic techniques like the gels, the cleansers, the
Shampoo bar even.
shampoo bars. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's the main things on the first course, and the second course, yeah, we use extracts. We won't spend as long on extract making because it's more about the creams and lotions. So we'll be taking we will make some herbal extracts and distillation, but it's more about how you combine them into emulsions and water-free creams as well to create the textures and of the creams that you want, and also how that impacts the method that you need to use for making the creams. So how it helps you determine how much preservative you need, for example. Is that okay? Yeah, so yeah, so as well you get so these are big guides, and it's a big folder of stuff that people get. I'm just checking the program to check my
Yeah, no, each
memory.
of these pages Vivian has shown that's actually a group of pages
I was
stapled
just going to
together. There's
say,
like
yeah, they're not a page, they're
it's
I've
a
got them in
section.
sections, so each thing is a big, each what looks like a page is actually a guide to a whole technique. So most of the guides are 3 or 4 pages long. And also I've also got a chart in it for your reference. Because I mean, you can use phones and gadgets in the class if you want to, but I really think if you work on paper when you're doing formulating and trying things out, it keeps you in your senses, and you make better things if you stay in your senses, feeling things and smelling things and really staying in your body. Whereas, so if you're writing on paper, when you do that, it helps you to keep in your body and in that zone. Whereas if you start doing things on gadgets, it brings in this distance. So
It's
I know some people
non-tactile.
need to use them. I'm not saying they're banned, but everybody gets printed. Since my very first class back in May 2004, 22 years ago, everybody gets printed handouts. And so when you come for a week, you get loads of printed handouts. So I've got this reference as well. This is it 30 pages long? This is just an introduction to some herbs and seaweeds for skincare and hair care. So inspiration for what you could start to work with. The other thing I wanted to show you was, because we've got different techniques that we use, like the cosmetic making techniques, like Lisa's got shampoo bar formula or whatever. You can uh, change the cleanser or the gel or whatever by by choosing which herbal extracts you're going to use. And so while you've got the technique there on our printed document, we want you to be making your own version. So you've got a formulation chart, which is where you take the technique that you're using, and you can jot down your ideas about what you want to make and which herbs or seaweeds jumped out at you, and we'll come round and help you just check that we think your formula is going to work. And then you can go ahead and make it, because use our ingredients and our equipment are there, so it's this great opportunity to use loads of different ingredients without having to buy them all in yourself, because we all know how much waste that generates when we're doing it for ourselves. We're buying things in by the kilo. And then on the back, then you take your notes about what you thought of what you made, and if what you liked, if there was anything that you would try differently next time, just your observations and things. So it really kits you up for, rather than just slavishly repeating a recipe, it kits you up to understand the technique and be able to vary it then. So to apply your knowledge from learning about the herbs and seaweeds into the skills that you got to try out, so that you can make something that you genuinely want to use. So
Now, we've
yeah,
also noticed too that when we have the group selected and everyone's working, even when we have, like, we've been out picking plantain, or we're harvesting roses, or we're working with orange blossom. And by the way, the smells are just so amazing. When
yeah,
you cannot even begin to describe all the symphony of fragrances. But even though we're all working with the same ingredients, and people are taking notes, so okay, I'm gonna design this, I'm gonna do my shampoo, or whatever we're working with on that day, or that extract. It's amazing how much variety we see, even though everyone is working with the same 12 ingredients or
yeah,
13 ingredients or whatever. We get all kinds of variety here, and we get all
yeah,
kinds of fascinating questions, and everyone is inspiring everyone else at the same
yeah,
time. Both Vivian and I are also, oh, that's interesting. I've never tried
yeah,
that. We'll see all kinds of fascinating creative ideas from people who are attending. And we really do have literally people who are running a business, have their own artisan businesses, uh, or also people who are just doing for personal use, and friends and family. And there is a beautiful meshing
yeah.
there's no like, oh, she's a professional, I can't be. Nobody doesn't feel, sorry, no one
So
feels out of place, because it is the herbs and the botanicals and all of the ingredients that we're working with that bring us together. And
yeah,
that is the main focus of it. So if you are kind of new to doing things, I highly encourage you to don't be worried about that. If you feel that, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can be standing around people who've been doing business for years and years. Yes, actually you can, because Vivian and I are also still learning all the time. I mean, I've
yeah,
been working with Rose for decades, and I'm still learning new things. So
yeah.
it's a joyous immersion into a botanical week with people who are equally passionate about the same thing. And well, as you can hear, we're already excited about it. But
Yeah,
it's a magical week,
yeah,
and we have not had any lessons or any of these courses that have not been an absolute magical experience, not yet. And I don't expect it will have them, because the plants are what carries the whole thing through, and the way we
yeah.
work with them. So,
Yeah, that's lovely. Thanks.
oh, well,
No, it
it's
is, and
true.
it's so true. Don't be intimidated by coming, because there's loads of stuff I don't make. I don't use 20 different emulsifiers and loads of different preservatives, and because I that's not an area where I need lots of different things for. It depends what you're doing. So don't be put off by, oh, there might be, I mean, there's none of those in the May course anyway, so there's no need for your brain to engage in that stuff. For the July one, there'll be talk of it, but even though I'm one of the teachers for the July course, I've not used loads of different emulsifiers and preservatives, because what I'm using them for is to create herbal and seaweed creams, and that's what I'm doing with them, and that's what I can help you with, because that's what I've done myself. And used myself and have done private work for with clients. And so I've got clients ranges approved by the EU, and I've done stuff myself, so all to EU standard with herbal extracts that people are making themselves, the seaweed extracts that they're making themselves. So, and you don't need to be selling things to come to that course either.
No, not at
So
all.
some people do, some people don't. It doesn't matter. It's just that you're interested in that, and it's it's so of the earth, and it's because we're so connected. We're because it's residential, we're able to do fresh treatments from the plants as well. So things that aren't products, they're treatments, so they don't need a shelf life because you can use them up within 48 hours, and so they've not got time to go off because we're using them. And because everybody's got either an ensuite room or access to a shower, we can do these fresh treatments, and and the plants are just literally there growing around us. I mean, we've done a few things on a whim during the last couple of courses. We're just like, oh, that's there. Oh, we should just do that, and we add it in, and people
Yeah,
use it in their room that night, you know. So it's a really lovely connection, and we've been so fortunate with the people who've joined us for these so far. The groups have just been gelled right away and been really harmonious.
absolutely.
I think because I don't run adverts for these, Lisa and I just send them to you guys, you know, people who know us and have been doing our courses or you know online things or workshops in Ireland or whatever and newsletters and things for years. So it's you know, people tend to be coming from a similar space
Yeah.
then. So yeah, I mean it's just been gorgeous. The people who own the venue are gorgeous. There's a really cosmic story about how we all met and all the things we've got in common. But Catherine is a herbalist as well, so it's and we just have so much fun, and they feed us so well.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean they just and it's a
Bring,
vegetarian kitchen, and people go, oh, I don't know if I can eat vegetarian food, and I'm like, it's okay, you can go out for meals if you want to, it's fine, and nobody leaves because the food's so good, including Lisa's husband.
who's a big meat eater.
He's a big meat eater. Yeah. He loves the
Yeah,
food.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's there and does not miss the meat at all. No, it
yeah,
is every meal is a celebration. I cannot recommend their cooking enough. If you
yeah,
like things that are, basically plucked shortly before it's put on your
yeah,
plate, that's what you're going to be
yeah,
experiencing. It's and it's not just plucked and put on your plate, it's lovingly and caringly
yeah,
prepared in ways that you would not even imagine. I mean,
yeah,
it's very inspiring. It's a very inspiring place,
yeah,
and one another thing that we've discovered, Vivian and I, because we've known each other for a long time, but actually
yeah,
working together and being thrown into each other's company in a residential course for the first time
yeah,
was like, oh, Vivian's been doing this for years, but this was new for me. But we walk on similar paths that cross some places
yeah,
and weave in and out of each other. So like Vivian says, there's some things I don't work with 100 different emulsifiers, but I don't work with 100 different medical plants, or I don't know all of the properties of all of these. So we actually really support each other quite well. So anybody having any kind of question, whether it's cosmetic formulation, something in
yeah,
between herbalism, aromatherapy, or anything else, between the two of us, we're pretty much we're usually equipped to answer. I don't think we've
yeah.
been unable to answer anything
Yeah,
people
we
have thrown at
haven't.
us
I
yet.
remember Sue saying to me at the end of the first, she said, you answered absolutely everything. I went, oh yeah. We haven't been asked anything that we don't know, but that doesn't
Oh,
mean we're not making things up. Like if we don't know, I'll say, oh, I don't know that, but do you know
oh
who
yeah.
does? And I'll send you to someone whose area it is, you know. But yeah, we haven't actually had that so far. Where we've been asked something that we don't know. So there's your challenge if you come. And and
Oh
also what I
no.
wanted to say was people are coming back
Yeah,
this
yeah.
year. Um, to the somebody who came last May is literally coming back to the course this May again to do it
Mm.
again because she enjoyed it so much. And this is somebody who knows a lot. She's not a beginner, she's the opposite of a beginner, but she enjoyed it so much and got so much out of it that she's coming back to do it again. And I remember someone who came last year, despite this huge booklet of printed stuff, she said to me afterwards, I get, because I get notepads for everyone, A4 notepads so they can take notes. And she said to me she filled 60 pages.
Yeah.
60 pages of an A4 lined pad of notes. And so there's one person coming back to the May course again, and then the June course there are one, two, three
July
people
course.
coming back. There are three people coming back. Sorry, July. Yeah, the
Yep.
July course, the cream ones. There's three people coming back. So, and other people wanted to come back but couldn't make it this year. So, um, yeah, I think that sort of speaks for itself. I just want, if you've got any more questions, do just put them into the chat bar. There were just a couple of things I wanted to go over, um, just to mention because these are the things that come up a lot when people get in touch with me about it. I just want to state that it's not a retreat. I don't mean that you won't have relaxing time and enjoy it, but I get messages from people about coming to a retreat, and I'm like, well, it's not yoga and meditation and cacao ceremonies. It's a course, it's class in the morning, class in the afternoon. It's a course, so I do just want to say that. If you need to rest and sit out a session, that's fine. I don't mean I'm going to make you work hard, but it's not a meditation thing, okay? And or there's no spiritual gathering in it. All right, just to be clear about that, because as soon as you say residential and something, there seems to be that assumption out there. That's what it is. Oh yeah, I also wanted to say that I'm not going to be around to teach this forever. I know because I've been teaching for 22 years, I know that people take it for granted that I'm going to be there. Oh, I won't go this time, I'll go next time, I'll go next year, etc., etc. This is completely different to one day workshops and things because it's Lisa and Mario and I. We all live in Portugal at the moment. Different things go on in life that might change. So I can't promise this that this will keep running. And actually, what I wanted to say was at this stage, I am not planning to run either of them next year because everything in the world's become so unstable and it's really difficult to deal with. And I love running things, but there's only so many external factors I can cope with. I'm one person, I'm not a corporation. And we're so late doing this for you guys just now because I was hit by this hurricane strength storm at the end of January. I had no proper internet connection for a month, so I lost a month's work at a time of year that's really busy. Now there's all this stuff has blown up in the, that's a terrible expression. All we know what's happened in the news over the last couple of weeks. And I've got no control over that. But the main hesitancy for me about doing them next year is courses like this are planned a year in advance, and so ticket prices, pricing them all out, and all the rest of it, and where there's something that's causing in the external world all these things to yo-yo with no warning, I can't plan for that a year in advance. So I'm not planning to run them next year for that reason because I can't. I'm not a corporation. I can't absorb stuff like this. If the world's going through a time like that, I can't cope with it. So in terms of these, so I'm not saying that to push people to book them this year, but I'm being very clear that I don't plan to run them next year. Because I can't. I had to cancel classes in London a few years ago for that reason. It was because of Brexit. It was when Boris Johnson was playing roulette basically with everything, and prices were just yo-yoing between sterling and euros. I'm like, well, I can't go because there was going to be a charge, there wasn't. All these things were being announced, and then he wouldn't do them, and he'd do the opposite. And I'm like, I can't do stuff under that circumstances, and
Mm.
so they didn't run that year. So I'm facing that now on with all this other global stuff, you know. What else did I want to say? Yeah, the course in May anybody can come to. If you're looking at the course, the course in July, sorry, the cream making one, I do need to check that you've got just a core level of skill so that you'll be able to. It's not suitable for beginners, so just ask me about that. Oh yeah, and because I wasn't available for a month during the storms. What I've done is for the May course. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I didn't put my glasses on, so I'm struggling with my handwriting. I've extended the payment deadline by 5 weeks, which is, it's really close. I've extended it to the 22nd of April for the May course because basically that's when I need to confirm the numbers for the catering and the food. The ingredients for catering are ordered in and all the rest of it. So the fresh stuff is in the garden, but I can't leave it later than that. But if anybody needs an extension, the deadline for the July course is April, but that's because I'm away teaching in May and I can't deal with things while I'm teaching the residential course in May. But if you need longer to pay the ticket fees for July, then that's fine. You just need to tell me and we'll set up the time because I can't deal with admin while I'm teaching the course in May because I work really long hours and I spend my time and attention goes on the people who are there for the group. I can't be disappearing off into email land for hours. I just don't do it. Um, that's it, I think. That's my notes. Visas, I don't know if anybody's coming from, just trying to think of the people that registered for the recording. Just be careful if it's really just Asia, I think, and presumably people won't be coming from there now because of the issue with
Right,
flights
situation.
via
Yeah. Yeah.
the Middle East. But you do need a visa if you're coming from there, and it takes a couple of months to get a visa for Portugal. So be aware of that. I can send you information about visas. If you're coming from the EU or the UK or Australia or the US or Canada or whatever, you don't. Most people who come from Canada and the US. If you have any kind of self-employment around this area, then obviously your whole trip can be offset as a business expense. You can put it down as training, and that's one of the reasons people come back. They just find it's a really good investment for training, and it saves them loads of time and money trying to do it all themselves on their own. And they find that the connection with other people. Last year there were quite a few people from America, and there was something on in America when they went back, and they all went together, and they were just all able to help each other with suppliers and different things, and it was just great. That's it. I'm just being asked, are there places available? Yeah, so there are places available in both of them, but we've got different types of accommodation. I don't know if you've watched the video about the venue. I do recommend that you look at it to check that the venue is for you. I mean, it's a home. People live there. It's not an official 5-star hotel or anything. It's very warm, and we're all in together. And the owners are renovating this old villa. It's 100 years old, and they basically saved it from collapse. And
Yeah.
every year they've renovated another bit, and there's another room, and they just do it really well. They're so skillful at carpentry and all the rest of it. They're amazing, and they've got this huge organic garden which they do themselves, and bees and chickens. There's fresh eggs for breakfast if you want them. The chickens are going around the garden, and it's lovely. But there's different types. Sorry to answer your question. there's different types of accommodation. So some of the rooms have sold out. I think the ensuite rooms for May, I've got one ensuite room left. It's all up to date on the ticket price list. If you go to the page for the course, the course brochure, the ticket price list with the accommodation types, and the video about the venue is on, both courses. And so I think there's one ensuite room left for me. There are other rooms where you share the showers and the toilet, but it's only between 3 rooms. It's not 100 people using them. And there's glamping as well, which is in with the citrus trees. So at that time of year, it usually smells of neroli. And the people
Gorgeous.
who glamped the first year just loved it. They
Mm.
loved it. And I remember somebody arriving and she booked a room, and when she saw the glamping, she asked if she could swap. I said, sorry, no, we've not got enough tents for you because we have, we put up the ones that we need. So that was lovely. So, and then yeah, same for July. There's one ensuite room left. And yeah, so go on and look at the video about the accommodation and the ticket price list. Oh yeah, just the difference between the ticket prices. The emulsions and lotions course costs more than the natural skincare and aromatic ones in May, because a big part of the course about making creams and roasting lotions is the testing. So we're going to be showing you how to test and monitor extracts that you've made yourself, so that so that you've got information about them being safe to use in your products. And we're also sharing lab results on emulsions that we've made using our own herbal extracts and seaweed extracts that we've made ourselves. So a proper report on the finished creams from the lab. So the course in July costs more because testing costs more, including you'll get hands-on and test things. I'm not just going to stand and do a demo of it all. I'll be giving people the chance to do it. So it's just literally the dip slides and all the rest of it. It's to pay for all of those. They cost quite a lot of money. So that's what the difference in the ticket price is between the two courses. Just to reserve your place, you just need to pay the deposit. The deposit's €500. So I hold rooms when people pay a deposit, that's fine. And yeah, that's it. If you want to book, I can help you out with flights, arrivals, times, taxi transfers. If you want information about hiring cars, or some people come over earlier and spend a few days and come to the course. The sharing taxi transfers from the airport has worked really well in previous years. So, yeah, just ask. This is my how many of it? We've done two together, Lisa, and I did
Yeah.
one at the distillery. So this is my fourth and fifth residential courses here. So yeah, so just ask. Okay. Oh yeah, and if you see anything online about wildfires, if you look up the area, don't worry, they don't happen in May or the beginning
Right.
of July. It's still raining here, so the ground's sodden, so there wouldn't be anything catching fire in May. Wildfire season is late summer and autumn, where there just hasn't been rain. But I don't run courses at that time of year because we need the rain for the plants to be there. So I don't do them when it's really hot weather, because there's the risk of wildfires, but also there aren't any fresh herbs. So we want to use the herbs. So we're not doing them then. So don't panic. If you search something online, it's always drama, tabloid style headlines that come up first. So just to say, if you search the area and you see wildfires, don't worry, that's not relevant at the time we're going there. Um, ditto floods and hurricanes, I should add, after this year,
Storms
actually.
and everything else. But hey, everyone comes to Portugal for the weather. It's fantastic.
Oh dear. Jeez, the world's all over the place just now, isn't it? But I do think where things are so turbulent. You know, it's all the more reason to come together and focus on things that are real, because this stuff is real, you know, and it can really change your life. These are skills you take with you for life, whether you are doing this for yourself or you decide you've got some business angle to it. It's really transformative. And you know, people go back to cities, and then they start to spot the plants in the cities that they've worked with in Portugal. And I'm not saying they run around collecting it from the city, but it's like seeing an old friend and feeling that comfort. It changes your experience of where you live, and it's really special. So yeah, that's it, I think. Uh, any last questions? I've gone through everything that I was asked before. You bring home samples of everything we
Oh,
make in the
yeah.
classes, so the gels, the cleanser, the shampoo bar, herbs we've dried, ointments, enfleurage. Mario quite often has the enfleurage frames for sale as well. So just make sure you book a check-in, a check-in bag for your luggage so that you can bring back your samples, because obviously they're classed
And
as
we
liquids.
are careful to also to choose packaging that
Yeah,
is travel friendly and
yeah.
that is not too big or
Yeah,
things
they're
won't
all
spill.
travel
And
friendly
yeah,
sizes. So little
yeah,
30 ml spray bottles for the different waters. We
distillates.
distill the
Yeah.
different
Mm.
hydrosols, because we usually make about 4 of them, don't we?
Yeah, 3 or 4. Yeah,
Yeah, three or
yeah,
four
yeah.
during the week, and mosquito repellent, and you know, different jars and things. But I put them into I don't put them into glass. You know, if you've been to classes with me in Ireland or Wales or London, you know I always use glass, but I don't for this because there's so many different
We have
samples
people
of things, and I'd
coming in
hate
from
your
all over.
case to
Yeah,
get full
yeah.
of glycerin and mess and all the rest of it. So I do put them in plastic and oh, I can't get it out. Aluminium. I didn't put my false teeth in properly before this session tonight. Okay. Anything else? I think that some people are coming to, there's somebody coming to both as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So there's no pressure to come to
No,
both, but somebody is literally coming in May and July because she just wants to do, she was one of the first people booked in. She booked in last summer, I think.
mm.
So she's coming to both. She's dead excited. She's bringing a friend. Yeah. That's it then, I think. Shall I put did you open the links to things, lads? Just let me put them in the chat bar for you. So that's the natural skincare one in May. I'll just put it into the chat bar. You should have I did put it in the email for you as well, but that's it there. So the course brochure, the ticket price, and the video about the venue is there. And then if you decide you want to book it, then there's this is the link to pay the deposit. I'll just put it in for you. But you're probably better to email me just if you have questions or whatever, but I'll put them there for you anyway. And just on the booking deposit page, it won't take your payment without you accepting the terms and conditions. Now I know lots of people don't read terms and conditions because they're in tiny print and there's screeds of them, and in a lot of things they're designed to trick you anyway. Ours aren't like that. Ours are really clear, and I do want everybody to read them just so that you're clear on what the venue is and what the course is, and just our general rules for coming with a good heart to to enjoy ourselves, and be in harmony with each other. So that's on the check boxes when you pay your deposit. I'll just get you the other one for the cream one, and unless you have any other questions, then we can finish up. Where is that? There it is.
And if you do think all of a sudden, as just soon as we say good night, thanks for joining us, and then you suddenly, oh my God, I forgot I wanted to. And then it's okay to just
Yeah,
either email Vivian or my if it's anything admin related, Vivian is the girl to go to
yeah.
because if you ask me anything, I will send you to Vivian.
Yeah, just email me. That's fine. Yeah, yeah. But it would be great. You know, if you are able to come, you know, if you have the means to come and you'd like to, then it would be great if you join us this year because, as I said, as it stands at the moment, because of the way just all the chaos there is in the world, I'm not planning to run either of these next year because it's too turbulent and I don't have I can't absorb mad things going on in the world and how they impact our lives with no warning. So, and this is these courses are particularly affected by that because
Yeah.
we're using so many materials and equipment. Everybody's got their own set of equipment to use. You know, those precise weighing scales, spatulas, stirring rods. All of this stuff that you need, and there's huge amounts of materials and equipment there for you, and I'm not planning to run them next year because it's just all gone mad and all the prices have gone up and I can't absorb that again. So yeah, so that's it. So hopefully you can join us this year and it would be lovely to see you. And yeah, if you've got any questions, just ping me an email. I'll be at my desk again tomorrow. I'll be busy next week making samples for the, not samples, extracts, preparing the extracts for our courses because I start this early so that they're ready. So we've got the after and then we
Mhm.
do the start on the courses so I can show you things I've been infusing for weeks or whatever. So I'll be starting the prep next week. It's exciting. Oh, you're no problem, Kate. I'll be sending round the recording tomorrow anyway, so you can watch the bit you've missed. Yeah, is that all right? But if you just have questions, just email them to me and I'll pick them up tomorrow. Okay. Also, there's lovely wines. It's a great area
Oh
for
gosh, yeah.
wine and it's totally optional, but they have wine at the venue, which you're welcome to buy by the bottle. It's a total bargain and it's delicious. And
It is. I have
there
not
was many
tasted.
a wine run done
It's
last
true.
year. Yeah, yeah, it's
We
looking
had a
good.
huge power, or just a real quick one.
Yeah.
The last year when we were in the middle of the May course,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was when the huge the power outage happened, where all of Portugal, was it all of
All
Spain
of
as
Spain and the
and part
south
of
of
France?
France. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
everyone without power for some hours, and it just disappeared. And it was
Mm.
we were mid course
Yeah.
basically. We
Yeah.
and I thought I started it because I happened to step on I happened to step on a lead that was the machine stopped and I went over to
Yeah.
check it and then all of a sudden I stepped on a lead and then all of the power went out and I thought,
Yeah.
okay, oh, now I've really done something bad. And then it turns out everything was gone everywhere.
Yeah.
And this venue, with everything, nothing was no electricity, no nothing. They
Yeah.
managed to make dinner for all of us. They managed to equip everyone with what they needed to for buckets of water or whatever, if what we
Yeah.
needed. There was no panic at all, and then people broke out the wine and
Yeah.
said, "Well, we do have wine. We just come back from just the last thing that happened before the power went was the owner was out getting supplies,
Yeah.
and he had just bought he had just
Bought the
managed to
wine
pay
at the
for yes."
supermarket.
I said, "Well,
Yeah.
don't worry, we have wine."
Yeah. But we carried on with our, because we were in our class and this
Yeah,
huge power outage, because it went on for, I think it came on,
it was
was
10
it late
hours.
that night
It
or the
was 10
next
hours.
day?
Nobody
It
knew
was a
how
full
long.
day, whatever it
Yeah,
was. But we were able to carry on with our classes
yeah,
anyway because we didn't need electricity. That it was, I think I had to swap something around. We did
yeah.
the hand pressing of the oil, and
Yeah.
so it didn't matter that we'd no electricity. And literally all we had to do for the venue to continue to work was we went and bought buckets so that everybody could fill their buckets so that they could flush their loo. That was it. Everything else was fine. The dinner was cooked and just everything was fine. So if that doesn't tell you how sustainable the techniques are that we're
Yeah.
teaching you, then I don't know what will, because there was literally no power and we were still able to go on and just have a really beautiful time
We
and
did.
help
No, there
each
was
other
no
as
panic.
well.
Nobody knew what
No,
was going on,
no,
and we were
no, we
out in
just,
the nowhere, and still
yeah,
no panic at all. Everyone's, yeah, well, if this is the end of the world, then
yeah,
this is, well, cheers. Then it was very, very actually, considering what the situation was, it
yeah.
was extremely pleasant.
Yeah, it was, and it was funny. Just to contrast that with something, one of a venue that I teach at in the UK, the lady who does the chefing for it, she's fantastic, and she cooks for different retreats in different places, and she said she was down at one, and the whole venue was eco, but it was a smart venue, so it was
Oh,
all, and she said the power went off. She said she couldn't open the door and she couldn't boil the kettle, so she couldn't open the fridge. So they had a power cut all day and they couldn't even make a cup of tea. And we had a power cut for however long it was, and we just carried on merrily.
yeah,
So there you
good,
are.
yeah,
That's how sustainable it is. There were even acoustic instruments instead of the recorded music. Okay, we better go, otherwise we'll keep you up all night telling you how much we love the place. Okay, so listen, thanks ever so much for your time and your interest, and hopefully see you. If this feels right for you, then just get in touch.
yeah.
Okay then.
We look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, cheers. Okay, thanks for your time.
Bye
Cheerio.
bye.